I've got some bad news for you. You're going to fail AP Calculus unless you don't watch this entire video and use what I'm about to show you so you can succeed. Now, before I reveal to you what the main advice is going to be, let me introduce myself if I haven't met you already. So I'm David, and I used to tutor students like you back in college when I was taking Calculus 1 through 3 and also differential equations. And I'm a software engineer, so I get to work on some really fun code and make really cool mobile apps like the Math Ninja game I made for iPhone and iPad. You can check out in the description below. But enough of that. Let's talk about why you're here. Maybe it's your first time taking calculus. Maybe you've failed calculus once before, and I'm sorry to hear that if you have. And you're looking for tips this summer, or maybe a different time of year, so you can make sure you do well in calculus. And to your credit, because I've been there and I was a student like you, this might be the hardest class you ever take. So you're probably nervous and you're wondering, what can I do to make sure I just don't fail this class? And so in this video, let's talk about my number one tip for you to make sure you succeed, because my advice for you is probably not going to be what you're hearing from others, and it might not be the answer you even want to hear. Now, if you watch this video and you don't like what I'm about to reveal, that's okay. You can watch another YouTuber. I'm not going to tell you in this specific video how to solve a particular limit problem or integral. I've got plenty of other videos you can watch on that. But to reveal what my solution is for you so you don't fail AP Calculus, the number one thing I want you to work on this coming up semester is your mindset. Now that might sound bogus. Stick with me for a few minutes and let me explain why that's my advice for you. The problem with mindset, and it's not just math, but life in general. Socially, we hear things from friends, family, what we see on social media, our experiences with good teachers, bad teachers in school. Mindset is something that's usually borrowed. If your friends talk about how bad of a math teacher they've had, or how difficult math is, or they don't think they're ever going to use math in real life, it's more than likely that if you're just sharing that mindset, you're going to believe the same thing before going into your calculus class next semester. And first of all, side note, math is absolutely used in real life. I've actually been a software engineer for over 20 years, and I've used it countless times. If you want me to make a video and prove it to you, especially if you're about to become a software engineer, tell me in the comments below and I'll make some content. But going back to the point, what I want you to focus on is having your own mindset. Not what the world tells you, not what your friends tell you. And the idea here is to create your own destiny, because it's very easy to follow the herd and to approach math with the same negative mindset that most people are doing. A lot of people don't like math. It's just not fun for them. It's intimidating. And I want you to be different. A lot of times we struggle and we think we're not going to like something or do well because we just don't understand it yet. And you can change that story right now, especially in the summer when you have time to prepare ahead of your semester. So the cool thing about our brains is that it's going to believe whatever we tell it. So if you go in thinking math is useless or you're going to fail, your brain is going to do everything in its power to make that true. So without knowing it, you're actually sabotaging yourself, and your brain will then let you fail and then tell you, hey, your story was true. You thought you're going to fail, so there you have it. And this is where I want you to have a new mindset. It may not come easy. You might have this inner resistance to not think this way or want to believe it, but this is where you can almost treat it like learning a new skill, like basketball, where every day you start rewriting the story and thinking about, instead of treating math as boring or a chore or some burden you have to get through in school, what's good about math? How can this help you to get that dream job you've been wanting? Maybe there are other things that math teaches you about problem solving in general that can carry on to other parts of your life. How can it be fun? Are there fun math problems you can do? And so looking at math with this different perspective and putting it in a positive spin is really going to help you, because it doesn't matter how many of my YouTube videos you watch on integral shortcuts or other students talking to you or whatever teacher you have, myself included, your professor, your friends, nobody can solve the problems for you, get an A for you in your exam, do your homework. That's all going to be on you. And having the right mindset is going to make all of that a lot easier, because this class is almost going to be like a job. This is not a typical algebra class where maybe you've been able to just show up and get a good grade. I'm guilty of that, where I just winged it and I would do well in math until I ran into calculus 2. And that's when I had to really work extra hard because I couldn't get away with that anymore. And so I hope that helps you with your upcoming semester. And again, maybe this is not the answer you wanted to hear, and I'm totally okay with that. If you don't agree with me, tell me below what you think. But let's rewrite the story and approach mathematics with a different belief and a positive spin, because there's so much good about math, and it has nothing to do with math, but how it propels you forward in other areas of your life. Now, this video was focused on how you can ensure you don't fail calculus. But if you want to take it a step further and be a true ninja who can get an A or a B on your exams, then check out the video you see on your screen above.